Ready? Welcome to the Gentleman's Table podcast. We've got Carter here in a suit, Anthony here in the famed Prodigy merch.
Yeah, bro. Actually, wait. Let's drop this right now. What are you doing with Prodigy?
Shameless
I don't
plug.
think we've gotten into this.
All right, so as you know, I've talked about it that I'm from Michigan, and I still have a lot of buddies up in Michigan that are like family to me. And one of my really good friends' older brother has a muscle therapy shop called Prodigy. So he does a lot of work with professional athletes like bodybuilders, UFC fighters, boxers, athletes all around. And one day, me and my buddies just decided, hey, it's like he already has a set clientele base. And he's like, why don't we use that and start an apparel company? Because we've always talked about starting an apparel company for years. And we could never do it just because we couldn't get anyone on board to do it. We couldn't get everyone to stay disciplined enough to actually do it. And I'm like, nah, fuck it. Let's do it. Let's run this shit. Let's actually make something happen. So we gave ourselves deadlines on how far we needed to progress for a course of a couple months. So like we had like 3-month goals, 6-month goals, year goal, 3-year goals. And we've hit them for the most part. But we had a couple wrenches thrown into the loop, unfortunately. But we're still trying to build momentum. And yeah, we're just trying to get popularity. We're trying to get traction. I'm just selling to close friends and family at the moment till I work out all the website details and whatnot. But so far, so good, dude. Like me and all my buddies pitched in $500, everything. And we've already sold over 150 pieces so far.
Heck yeah.
So which is good. Yeah.
That's sweet.
That's awesome. So
Yeah.
what are you trying to do with Prodigy? Just sell it based on the muscle training, muscle
yeah,
therapy?
so we're typically shooting for athletes and stuff as fitness wear, like pump covers, hoodies for the gym, stuff like that. But it can also be used as like lifestyle shirts as well. Like we have oversized t-shirts, and I know that's a huge trend nowadays, is the oversized skateboarding hoodie or skateboarding t-shirt and things of that nature. So our goal is to hopefully quit our full-time jobs and do this full-time. And overall goal is traveling the country to different bodybuilding shows, because you can have booths at bodybuilding shows for like merchandise and whatnot. And that's our biggest goal, is to travel the country and go to different bodybuilding shows to sell our merchandise. Yeah.
So you're trying to like build yourself in the bodybuilding industry?
Essentially, yes, because me and my co-founder are both bodybuilders. And we do bodybuilding shows every year. He also is a boxer as well. So we also are going to be launching like boxing merchandise as well.
That's tough.
Like right now we have Prodigy Athletic Club. We're going to do Prodigy Boxing Club, a Prodigy Fighting Club, stuff like that.
Oh, that's sweet.
So stay tuned, y'all. Big
Yeah,
things
yeah.
are coming from Prodigy.
Heck yeah, bro. That's awesome.
Yeah.
I'm excited to see you're starting a business.
I am too. I'm hopeful, man. Like it's really, this is one of the first things in a very long time that I've actually been motivated and excited to do. Like, you know, when you go through work, you're just going through the motions and things of that nature. But like this, I'm starting from scratch. Like this is like the first thing I'm doing on my own by myself, just out in the world.
Yeah.
Because like when you work for a big company, like, you know, you set, like you get a paycheck every week. But with this, I don't know what to expect. And that's like one of the huge thrillers of it, is the unknown.
Yeah.
And I love that. Like we could totally flop, or we could go absolutely wild with it.
Oh, yeah.
And I like that. And I'll roll the dice on that. I'll take my chances, because I know who I am as a person when it comes to discipline and motivation. And I'm going to make that shit happen.
Interesting. Well, I kind of want to lean into this. Why do you think so many people, or it's not so common, I guess? Because this is a good thing. I love seeing you talk about this. You always get super excited to talk about it and everything. But how do you feel about people just, you know, to get started in something, you have to do something where there's no guaranteed return.
Yeah.
There's nothing that you could get back. You could be doing a bunch of work for nothing. So,
yeah, we could. So where are you going with that? Like, what's your question?
I'm saying, why do you think that's such an uncommon thing, or such a hard thing to do, or why should you do it?
To be completely honest with you, I think people are lazy. I think people are lazy and entitled, to be completely honest with you. They don't want to do something on their own. They want someone else to do it for them.
Okay, what would you say to someone who goes, let's say if you were to tell someone like, hey, if you want to be an entrepreneur and you want to open a business and you want to be successful, you have to go through, 2, 3, 4, 10 decades worth of work with no return, but you will succeed. What do you say to the person that hears you say that and they go, no, I don't believe you? Like, that's definitely not going to happen.
I would just say stay disciplined and stay motivated. Remember why you started doing it in the first place and just keep that motivation all the way through, because there are going to be times where it sucks. Like, unfortunately, my co-founder's father passed away recently, and that threw a huge wrench into things. Rest in peace, Papa Vaughn.
R.I.P.
So we lost a lot of momentum with that, and things were difficult for a little while because, they're a huge family friend of mine. They're like my brothers. I literally have a family name. Like, his mom gave me like a birth certificate, like welcome to the family. So
That's awesome.
it was a huge loss for the family. It really was, because he was the patriarch. He was the pave way for their community. Because they all own restaurants, shops, things of that nature, and he kind of like he put them on the map. So it is a huge community loss. So that kind of threw a huge wrench into things, because all the people that come out to support us, photographers, videographers, social media people, they're all a part of that family. So it kind of put a huge halt on things. But you got to remember why you started it in the first place. You got to keep that motivation. You just got to keep going, because eventually it will get better. It might suck for a long time, and you might lose your motivation, but you got to dig deep and you got to remember why you started it in the first place.
So being a startup founder and going through such a hard time like that, how do you get through something like that? What's pushing you forward? And, into
keeping
the unknown?
ideas rolling, just throughout the day. Just if I think of something randomly, just, hey, jot it down. We're gonna think about this, and we're gonna upgrade this. We're gonna keep talking about it. We're gonna keep pressing that button until something finally clicks and like the light bulb finally turns on. It's just the little things, honestly, that keep me going, because we haven't done anything outstandingly huge yet, but it's even one sale makes me happy.
Yeah.
Like, even just a little t-shirt sale keeps me going, because it's like, oh, people actually like this. I could see myself going somewhere with this. So it's the little things, honestly.
Awesome. What do you think?
Yeah, no, I love that. I mean, like, my mind goes towards like why you started it, like for you specifically, like why you started it. Like, I think you gave the reason as to like what you're trying to accomplish with it, but what like brought you into it? Like, was it your original idea? Like, what got the ball rolling?
So, like I said before, me and my co-founder are bodybuilders, but what I didn't tell you is his little brother has been my best friend since second grade. I was literally his first friend when he was the new kid in school. I literally walked up, little 4'2" Anthony in second grade, be like, "Hey, you're the new kid, aren't you?" We were friends ever since for the past 18 years. I've known him.
Your spawn camping friends.
Exactly.
First round pick.
And he's been ripped since he's been in 5th grade, dude. He's had a 6-pack since 5th grade.
Heck yeah.
And I've always been chasing him. Like, he's the one that got me into the gym. He's the one that keeps me motivated. He's the one that keeps me on my toes. So I kept chasing that. And so then, like, his older brother's always been around. His older brother's always been in the picture, and he does the same thing. He's been jacked since 5th grade. And that motivates me to do better. And that motivated me to get on board with them, to start Prodigy Athletic Club, to do bodybuilding shows. So keeping up with them, it's kind of like the Goku Vegeta mentality that Vegeta's always trying to chase Goku. It's kind of like me and my buddy. Cool. Like, I'm Vegeta in this instance, where I'm always trying to outdo him, even though he will always be better than me.
Cool. There's a quote I really like. It's if you're walking on a path in life is the path, and you need people walking right alongside you in your life. So like you two would be very similar to like where I am at with life, and then you need people who are ahead of you to learn from.
Yeah.
So whether it's like your parents or just people a few years ahead of you, and then you need people behind you so that you can teach them and you can become a teacher, but also you can remember the mistakes so that in the future you don't make them again.
Yeah, because I've always heard a saying, which I think is absolute bullshit, is that you should not take advice from someone that isn't doing better than you.
Oh, yeah.
Which I totally disagree with. Yes, because you can take advice from very successful people, but also you can also take advice from people that aren't doing as better than you because of the mistakes they have made in the past. You can learn from what they did and do it better.
Well, exactly.
Yeah.
I think I think that's a silly mindset in general, because if you are someone who has an expertise, that doesn't mean you're not intellectual in other areas.
Yes,
like
I totally agree.
Like you two are more so expertise with cars and understanding like the ins and outs of engines and how to like fix their problems. I know none of that shit. So if I were to go to you guys about anything else, it's not like your opinion's not valuable. It's just that's not your field of expertise. Like if you went down that route, I'm sure you'd be extremely knowledgeable in that area. So I can still ask you about it.
In my eyes, experience is experience, whether it's good or bad. Because I've met people that have lost and gained 5 fortunes in their lifetime, and I've met people that just make ends meet, and they have given me some of the best advice that I've ever had in my life.
Yeah.
Like, one of the most influential people in my life was one of my high school teachers.
Yeah.
He was a very successful man in my eyes, but to some people, he's just a teacher. But teachers don't get enough credit for the influence that they provide for people, especially at such a young age when you're breaking the mold, you're molding them into people, because they're going out in the world after high school. They're going to be adults, free thinkers.
Well, how did he influence you?
So he was my ROTC teacher in high school. I was one of those kids. I was an ROTC kid. All pass.
This guy, I mean, like, just such an incredible role model. Like, if you were like making fun of the ROTC kids and you're like, oh man, like those guys have to wear the uniforms, like those guys are the nerds, totally understand that. If you met this guy and said that you didn't want to learn from him, I don't think I could get behind that.
You are the dumbest person on the face of the planet.
Yeah.
If you didn't want to learn something or take advice from First Sergeant.
Yeah. I mean, just the way he walked through life, like there was a joy that like omitted from him, and the way he walked through life, he had such a joy and a confidence, and I think the mixture of that was just like a perfect set of skills in a role model.
Just being in his presence made you want to be better.
That's pretty cool.
He's the one that taught me how to tie a tie, how to shave my face, to carry myself with confidence, to stand up straight, to be a man when I was a little kid. Because looking back on it, when you're 14, 15, 16 years old, you ain't no man. You might think you're hot shit, but you're not. You're a little ass kid. And him teaching me confidence and talking with conviction and things of that nature, totally, like, I use so much stuff that I learned from him in everyday life. Yeah. I really do. And a lot of that has to do with the military background that he had and that I have. Going through boot camp, learning discipline, having a routine, talking with confidence, talking with projection and power. I use it every day, and I will always look back on the teachings that First Sergeant gave us about what it is to speak with confidence and conviction in your voice.
Yeah.
And I'll still go back and visit him from time to time. And he'll always tell me, "Oh, Hernandez, you got to talk in front of the class and tell them what you do and how successful you are." I'm like, I'm not trying to like brag to these kids. These are just kids. I don't want them thinking that I'm showing off. He's like, "You got to explain to them how you got there." And like, I know where he was going with that because of like my military background. Because if it wasn't for my military background and being in the military, I wouldn't be who I am today. I really wouldn't be. I don't know where the hell I'd be if it wasn't for my military. You know me. I was a shit ass in high school. I was a little goofball. Mm-hmm. But
Big goofball.
Going through boot camp, deploying at 19 years old, getting thrown into life so quickly taught me how to be a man.
Oh, for sure.
And I can trace those roots right back to high school and 8-9 years ago almost. And I still use what I learned from there today.
I think that just goes to show, like, even being a decent human being impacts others around you so much.
100%.
Especially when you're around kids all the time in a place like school.
I hate negativity. There is no reason as to why someone has to be so negative all the time. It brings people down.
Yeah. Well, but I'm more saying, like, if someone's so positive and actually helps, like, keeps themselves up, you know what I mean, and keeps
Yeah.
others around them feeling up, it actually does impact.
Oh,
you know,
100%.
and actually focusing on that instead of just playing neutral or, you know, not being in a bad mood or being negative and just,
Yeah.
you know, blocking out everything. Purposefully, you know, actually trying to smile and trying to show, you know, affection. I don't want to say affection, but being kind actually does impact people.
Oh, yeah,
Especially
100%.
for your whole life, you're still.
Yeah.
Well,
Bringing
and that's
that up.
actually like something I was gonna like go ahead and jump into is like I think we named the podcast like the Gentleman's Table, and I think I mean we've got Carter in a suit over here, but like there was a reason that we wanted to do that, and I think going back to First Sergeant, I mean I think he's a great example of like what a gentleman is and how they hold themselves. So like in y'all's opinion, like what do you think today like a gentleman looks like? Sorry, I was like, it just cut out. But yeah, in like today's society, like every day, like what do you think that means to like be a gentleman? Like what do you have to do? How do you have to hold yourself?
In my own personal opinion, I think every man should try to hold themselves to a higher standard than the rest of society. I think that sets people apart from everyone else. Even if it's big things or even with little things. Yes, sir. Yes, ma'am. No, sir. That sort of thing. The little things, being polite, communicating in a respectful manner.
Yeah.
I think that takes people a long way.
Yeah.
Carter?
So you're saying more the little things is what? So he's saying what does a gentleman mean today? What does being a gentleman mean today?
From what I got from what Anthony said is it's more of like the in-betweens, like the little moments.
Yeah.
Like I think there's like a bigger picture persona of like who you put out there, but I think the in-between is very impactful. And
Yes,
like, you can't
because
take that for
I
granted.
think there is a difference between being a man and being a gentleman.
Yeah.
Mm.
Because being a man, most dudes know what it takes to be a man, to have a job, to provide, things of that nature.
It's going away, but
It's
I don't
going.
know.
It's going away. But that's the main consensus of what it is to be a man.
Yeah.
Typically speaking, correct?
I feel like being a man and being a gentleman are just about the same thing.
No, because you can be a man, but you don't have to be a gentleman.
Yeah.
Like you could be a dick.
when I think gentlemen, I think of like Peaky Blinders. Like there's a way they do things to where it's like they're not going to cross boundaries. It's
Yes.
almost like war crimes. Like
Yes.
the way that countries talk to each other, it's like there's a gentleman-like procedure because they don't cross specific boundaries. And I
Yeah.
think like, I mean, people who are rotting in prison right now for doing unspeakable acts, like they could be a man, but they
Yeah.
will never be a gentleman.
Exactly.
I don't think those people
Versus-
are men, but
Versus like a Thomas Shelby.
yeah, no, that's fair. I see what you're saying, but I don't know. I think being a gentleman today is a little bit different than being a man, but I think it entails a lot of the same things. Actually actively trying to provide for the people around you, but I think it more pertains to. The people around you, I guess. It more pertains to how you act towards others, how you hold yourself, what you do, the actions you take to help others and be there for others, and the actions you take to uphold yourself and keep your health in check, keep your, brain in check, your mental health. I don't know. I think being a gentleman today means holding yourself, like you said, to that higher standard and being in the top 1%. And, or at least trying to be in the top 1%.
Yeah, at least trying. And it's the effort that people see. And you might not think of it in yourself, but people will eventually notice the little things that you do.
Well, a lot of the times it's the effort that people don't see. So you gotta take a grain of salt with that.
Correct. Yeah,
realistically, it could be you're putting in the effort and no one's seeing it, or it could be you're putting in the effort and people are seeing it.
Doing the right thing when no one's looking.
Well,
Right.
I mean, I think that's like the baseline of integrity. It's like, are you doing the right thing when no one's watching? Like, are you willing to do that? And I think that's such a like eminent characteristic of what a gentleman is having integrity. Like, are you going to work hard and work fast when no one is watching? Like at Chick-fil-A at work all the time, we have to deal with like little things, like he said, she says. And then if we have to like pull the cameras, like we can see what actually happened. So a lot of the times in the mornings or at nights when you have like a lot less staff there. You have to like oversee what they're doing. And so the integrity there is like, you are one person and we are trusting you to just do all these things. And if you choose that hour of time to not do all those things, like, we just have to believe that there wasn't enough time or something happened. But if we check the cameras and we see that you weren't doing it, like, that's a lack of integrity, and that speaks so much more than just being lazy and not doing your tasks. Like, that speaks as you as a person and who you are. Because if someone was watching you, you probably would have done it. But because no one was watching you or you thought no one was, you're not going to do it.
Yeah. I always live life thinking that someone's watching me.
Yeah.
And even when I know someone's not, I'm always acting like someone is. And that's where I kind of get my integrity from. Maybe it's PTSD from the military and shit, because there actually was someone watching me at all times. But I go through life like someone's always watching me.
Yeah.
That someone down the line is going to be like, yeah, I saw him do that. He's telling the truth. That's how I look at life. I'll always look at life like someone's always watching you. And it's not necessarily, I know some people might get a bad vibe off that. It's like, oh, that's no way to live. I'm like, yeah, it is. It is. Because like, in your mind, it's like, oh, you're going to have to do it anyway. So it's like, you might as well just get it done even when no one's watching.
I think that's something that like religion plays a heavy aspect in, like, because you were raised Catholic, and I think as kids raised in like with religion in their life, I think you're taught that like God is always watching, and so the integrity piece there is like, yeah, you could do this terrible, awful thing, but at the end of the day, you're gonna have to stand in front of those pearly whites and the pearly gates, and
it's not only that God is watching. It's I'm watching. I know. And I don't want to lay my head at night thinking, oh, fuck, I should have done that. That's no way to live with regrets. Because you don't want to look back on something and be like, oh, I wish I would have did that. It's like, even like, I had no conscience of doing it, but I should have done it anyway. Yeah. Just because I want that self-satisfaction knowing that I did it anyway.
Yeah.
So
I don't know. I think integrity is absolutely a core value in being a gentleman and being a good person in general.
Yeah.
Having integrity with, like you were saying, with, lying, having integrity with, coming to work on time, having integrity with just talking to people and having integrity in your voice and behind what you say, which is more like a confidence thing.
Yeah.
I guess.
Yeah, that's confidence, I think,
Yeah, but you can tell when someone they mean what they say. You know what I mean?
That's true. It's like the body language. It's almost like, in a poker game, it's like you're reading them. Are they being truthful? Like, if I'm talking to you and I'm rolling my eyes or I'm looking away or my voice is trailing off or I have a lot of ums and and likes and fillers, like, you're going to assume I'm lying.
I was just about to say that, the eye contact thing, because I used to be really bad at that. I would always look, hey, guys, what's up? Or, hey, how you doing? Or, I did do that. I've noticed that so much going through life, that you can see in people's eyes if they're being truthful or they're being true to what they're saying.
Yeah.
Dude, I think eye contact is such an undervalued play in the playbook.
Absolutely.
It so is.
So I think you can use it a lot of ways. Obviously, you can use it to make people think you're not interested. You can use it to make people think you're interested. You can use it when you're talking to someone in conversation to, obviously make you seem like the power in the conversation.
Oh, yeah.
Like, there's a lot of times where I see myself in conversation. If you just stare straight into their eyes, you can see them, like, looking around and stuff like that. They don't want to deal with you.
They get uncomfortable.
But you're the top dog, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
if you keep eye contact.
I totally get it.
But that's also happened to me, where I feel like dudes are just staring me down, and I'm like, shit, dude. Like, this guy staring through me.
There's so much power in knowing, like, psychology and body language. Like, there's absolutely so much power that you can take away from that. Like, the understanding you will gain.
Well, even I've seen some stuff online saying, like, your eye contact when you're talking to someone, if you look down like every 3 seconds or something, or a certain amount of times, like, it can tell them how interested you are in the conversation. Or even, like, actually for work interviews, like, you want to have good body language and good eye contact, and it really tells the interviewer that you, again, we can go back to integrity, that you are someone who is, I guess there's meaning to what they're saying.
Oh, yeah.
And how they're portraying themselves.
I was actually going to jump right into that because I do interviews like at work. So like anytime we like need to hire someone, they go through, you know, the interview process, and ours is like you have an initial screening with our first person who just makes sure like there's no crazy red flags, and then she sends them to whoever leads that specific part of the restaurant. And so a lot of the times like I'll get sent our people, and one of the biggest things for me is if you're making eye contact in that conversation, because I've had kids, and you know, most of the time, and we're interviewing younger like high school, college students, so they're not used to being interviewed, but they'll be like this when they're talking to you, and they just look right past you, like they're staring at something but they're talking to you. And it's such a big red flag when it comes to like hiring someone, because like if you can't make eye contact with me, then you know I need you to make eye contact with your coworkers and the customers who come in, and like there's so many other things that you need to do, and if you can't even make eye contact with the one person who's interviewing you and offering you a job, then that's a big concern for like hiring you, especially for a personable job. So I definitely agree with the eye contact thing.
Yeah, I think just talking to anybody in general and them not giving you good eye contact is just an obvious, you know, red flag, should raise alarms that they are just a weird person. And I think it does automatically inside everybody.
I wouldn't even let it get to that point. So my first thing, before the eye contact even happens, if someone shakes my hand sitting down or gives me a sissy ass handshake, I'm sorry. I'm not even gonna deal with it.
Really?
To be completely honest with you, if a grown ass man shakes my hand sitting down, I will tell him to stand up.
Really?
No, for real. If you're sitting down, you better stay sitting down while you shake my hand. Like that's not acceptable.
Wait,
bro.
what do you mean? If you're sitting
if
down,
you're
you better
sitting down
stay
and you shake my hand, you better stay the fuck sitting down.
Wait, what do you mean?
I don't want you to stand up after that. You're fucking down, boy. Sit.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. You're saying if he already deliberately made the choice to shake your hand sitting down,
I'm saying
just
stay
down.
sat.
Okay.
Yeah,
Yes.
stay sat.
I guess I've never thought, because like I understand where you're coming from, like, and I feel like for me, the people's hands I'm having to shake are like old, like older people. So like whether it's like grandparents, parents, or bosses, like you're having to like shake their hands. I feel like I naturally stand up, but I've never thought about it like that. Like if I stay sitting, it's disrespectful. I've never thought about that.
It's such a mutual respect thing, in my opinion. When you stand up to shake someone's hand, it tells them, hey, I'm making time for you. I'm making the effort to show you that I care. And I want to be on your level. I want you to show me the same respect that I'm showing you by standing up. And I want you to take me seriously.
Yeah.
Because I think if someone shakes your hand sitting down, they don't care whether they're taken seriously or not. That's just a telltale sign that they, in my opinion, don't have any self-respect for themselves.
I 100% agree. There has been a few times where I have like for the job I work at right now, I had a couple interviews where I went to go, you know, bring them into the office to interview them, and they were sitting down when I was going to shake their hand, bro. Immediately, I don't care about the interview.
Yeah,
I don't care.
Like I'll have soldiers that I'm being introduced to. If they're sitting down, and I'm like, hey, this is Sergeant Hernandez, come introduce yourself, and they stay sat, I'll walk out the door.
Yeah.
And I'll try again.
Bro. Like even if someone's coming up to me and like they're coming up way too fast with their hand out and I'm still sitting down, I will not put my hand out until I am stood up in my seat. I don't care how close they are to me, bro.
I'm preparing myself.
What if someone hits you with the...
Wow, I'm sitting
we're both sitting.
Well, no, that's different. That's completely different.
Yeah, that's different. That's more of a you guys are on the same level.
Yeah,
but if someone's coming to you, standing up, shaking your hand while you are sat, you are waiting for me till I stand up and you give me the opportunity to meet you at your level.
That's fair.
Yeah.
What do y'all think because I feel like so much like etiquette, like today's modern etiquette has changed. Because I'll go out all the time, and I will admit I'm not the best at opening the car door for my fiance, but I do it more times than not, I would like to say. But I have seen that like such a lack in like people in general. Like there's such a difference in etiquette on like what you're supposed to do, like gentleman or chivalry or whatever you want to call
chivalry
it.
dead.
Yeah. Like,
Honestly, you like no bullshit. Yes, chivalry is dying, at least to say the least. I wouldn't say it's dead because there's still a few good ones out there, but I think it is dying. Yes, because I don't think men take the time to think about that sort of thing. Because I think a lot of dudes are selfish nowadays.
I would give slight pushback on that. I think there is a sense of, and I'm probably going to receive some hate from this, but it's okay. I think there's a sense of a push towards men going to be more feminine, and with that push, the females don't want men to do those things because they want to feel confident that they can do them themselves. It's like if I were to open a door for a woman, it's basically saying like, oh, you can't open that door, which neither of us believe. Like we both know she can open a door. I'm just trying to be kind. But at the end of the day, I think it's being pushed by both genders of one, like I'm trying to be more feminine and saying you can do your own thing, and one of like, hey, stay over there, I can do my own thing. And so
What do you mean guys are trying to be feminine?
like I think females are trying to shape guys in more of a feminine way. Like I mean, you see in society like the dyed hair, the painted fingernails, the diets, the clothing. Like we don't have to get into all of it, but I do think it shapes how chivalry has like passed.
Yeah, but you think that I feel like if your girlfriend is making you paint your nails and dye your hair, you got a different problem.
That's not what I mean.
No, that's not what I think. What he's saying is that society is leaning more towards that's acceptable nowadays. Which
Yeah.
So
I get that.
in the past, if you don't open a door for your woman, some dude is yelling at you like, "Dickhead, why
Yeah.
aren't you being a gentleman for your girl?" Now,
Yeah.
no
Okay.
concept.
Do
There's
you-
no
So
it's
social
normalized.
concept. Yes.
Do you
exactly.
think it's because men aren't men anymore, or do you think it's because women are trying to be more independent?
I fully disagree on all counts. I agree with Jonathan. I think it's not as normalized. Because I think there definitely still are really romantic couples where if that motherfucker ain't opening the door, he's getting his face slapped.
Yeah.
Like, type shit.
No, yeah,
And-
yeah.
But I also know people who like absolutely could not. It has to be the other way around type shit. So
it's what's socially acceptable?
yeah.
Like,
But I don't think it's dead. I just think it's not as normal.
yeah.
I think in the past it was like a night thing. Like it was something. What?
in the past.
Oh, in the past, the future. The past. But like it was like a thing of nights. It was a code that they lived by, right? It was like all during like the Shakespeare times and when poems and all these like plays were coming out, and like you wanted to be a knight and like you wanted to be all these things.
I still want to be a knight.
Yeah, I'm trying to be
Exactly.
Give me my
And
white cloak.
Now no one's trying to be that. Like that's not anyone's goal, is to be a chivalrous like. I'm sorry. That was a bad way to put it. It is not culturally pushed as that is an achieving role.
There you go. That sounds better. That sounds better. Because I do, like, I try to live by that.
Yeah.
Well, this goes back to what y'all were saying about, is it girls who are the problem? Because if girls would push out there and tell all the guys, we want someone who's going to be chivalrous and romantic and all this, which I feel like they do say, but they don't at the same time. I don't know. But I feel like with what you're saying, it's a problem that the guys don't think they would achieve anything, or it would be good to be romantic and be chivalrous. Do you think it's the girls that aren't pushing that, so the guys are like, there's no point?
I don't know, actually.
I think it's dual wielding, bro.
I think it is too. I think it's both sides of the fence.
Yeah.
Like, I think it's, yes, society is on a decline, like in our previous podcast that Elliot said. I don't know the specific quote that he said, but he's like, hard times create strong. That quote. Yeah. I totally agree with that.
Yeah.
Because I have met so many dudes nowadays that are absolute sissies.
Yeah.
That they don't shake your hand standing up. They don't make eye contact with you. They talk like, oh, I don't know. They answer every question with a question. Like, they're not confident.
Yeah.
And I think society is leaning towards, like, they have the toxic masculinity. I'm not gonna lie to you. Like, there are certain parts of toxic masculinity that I think we should bring back. I'm not gonna lie.
I think toxic is an overused word.
It is.
Oh, for sure.
No, it's people say toxic masculinity, but it's not really toxic masculinity. Yes,
Some of it is.
Some of it is. No, so by all means, some of it is. But a lot of the things of men trying to provide, I think is a lot. I've heard a lot of people say, like, oh, I don't really know where I was going with that, but I know there are a lot of people that think toxic masculinity in general is toxic. Like, you know, like, so many people give hate to Andrew Tate, which there's a lot of stupid shit that he does say.
A lot.
But there also is a lot of stuff that has a lot of truth to it as
for
well.
sure. That's why it sucks that there's a lot of stupid shit that he says.
The thing with Andrew Tate is I think bro just has to be that radical to get his message out.
He does.
Or get any attention. So I everyone just takes him way too seriously. But he does say some outlandish,
Well, that's what people do, though. I
crazy
mean,
stuff.
the reason that he's getting pushback is because there is an entire job market of creators and influencers who push back on things like that and call him out for things like that because that's their job.
Exactly.
If there wasn't a job market for that, he also would not have a job.
Yeah.
Like, it's...
Well,
Yeah.
Anyways.
going back to that, what you were saying.
I think it's... I truly think it pushes from both sides. I don't think it's necessarily a woman's thing. I don't think it's a man's thing. I think both sides have kind of folded and accepted this new version of what is acceptable. And
Yes,
I think
that's perfect. I don't think anyone could have said it any better, because I think it's to where women want to be independent. Like, I totally get down with that. I love an independent woman. I love
Strong,
a
independent
woman
woman.
that doesn't have to rely on a man. I get that, but there's a difference between needing a man and wanting a man.
yeah.
So when you said, like, you know, you see a lot of guys these days who are little guys who are scrawny and they're like, you know, they're on a leash with their girlfriend, you know.
Yeah.
Do you think guys can come back from that? So Jonathan and I have had this conversation multiple times, actually. If you're someone in that situation where you look in the mirror and you're like, bro, I am not that guy.
I'm not that guy, pal.
I am not that guy, pal. And what are the main things that you can change immediately to improve your growth in the looks and
I love this
personality?
question.
Yeah,
you know,
we've had this conversation multiple times.
what would be my top two biggest advices?
What's the two biggest things?
I think one is someone like that obviously has questions going on in life. There is nothing wrong with seeing a therapist. I think talking about it with somebody, talking about your struggles, talking about what you go on through daily life by a medical professional, I think that's such a green flag. I know some people might think, oh, you're in therapy, you're fucking crazy, there's something wrong with you. There is nothing wrong with venting to somebody.
And this episode is sponsored by BetterHelp. Reach out to your BetterHelp therapist today.
No, BetterHelp sponsor us. What? Keep going.
I think there's such a crucial lack of men talking about their problems.
Okay, what's number two?
No, let me finish.
You said therapy.
Yes, so that's number one in my opinion, because I think everyone should have a therapist.
Okay.
Number two is the friends that you surround yourself with.
Okay, so there's two things that they can change immediately: get a therapist, get new friends, or
Yes.
drop bad friends.
Drop bad friends.
I would
Okay.
disagree on one account.
Okay,
Okay.
what's the one account? Talk to me, baby.
Okay, we're gonna do the top two things then. What's the top
Okay.
two things?
Can I do top three?
No, two.
Because I
Okay,
have
no,
three.
we'll do top two. We'll give you
Okay,
one more. What
well,
are the
the
top
three
three
can be-
things if you are a scrawny little?
Well, the three, I
Bitch.
can pair them. I can pair them. It's fine.
Okay.
So, like, I think one would be your appearance. So I'm gonna say your quote unquote style. So I think how you dress and how you present. So
Are
I
you
think,
just trying to say, like, finding confidence in yourself?
Yes, I'm
No,
saying
to
I'm
better
saying,
yourself
like,
overall.
I'm
Okay.
saying you find some. Okay, I was saying to the angle I'm coming at this is to appear more confident, but also to be more confident in yourself because you like how you look.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay. So your style. So I think like how you do your hair. Do you like do any lotion, or like what clothes do you wear? Do you like how you look in your clothes? Like, are you wearing old clothes, too tight, too baggy? Like, do you like the style, or like that kind of stuff? I think that's number one. Easiest thing to change. I mean, you could put $100 into it, buy 3 new fits, and a hair product thing that you like and some lotion, and you're good. The second thing I think is as simple as it sounds. I think it's your physique and it's going to the gym. I mean, you step foot in the gym, you build that habit. It's as long as the habit stays, your physique's going to change.
I agree with both of his, but if we were going to do 2, I was just going to say, get a haircut. A haircut is going to get you so far in life. If you do not cut your hair and your hair is raggedy, you're literally just not going to go anywhere. It's disgusting. People look at you with disgust. It's just, if you can have a lot of hair, you just need to keep up with it.
Well,
there's just those people with bad hair. If you're trying, especially in a sales position or any position when you're talking to people, and you have bad hair that looks just disgusting, it just gives off bad vibes immediately.
Carter, do I
so
have bad
get
hair?
a haircut. No, actually, you have gray hair. Yeah, but
Pointer,
get it. Get a haircut. I would also agree with Jonathan. Your style is going to upgrade your look to others, how you appear to others. So how they talk to you is going to change, and how they feel about you is going to change overall, and how you feel about yourself and how you talk about yourself to other people is going to change.
100. I agree with that. I don't think those would be my top 2.
But
I totally agree with what you're saying.
Exactly.
Totally.
So if we're going to combine those, haircut, appearance, if I'm going to put my second one, would be by far go to the gym. It doesn't matter if you go one day. If you go one day, I guarantee you're coming out of the gym feeling better than you did before.
Yeah.
There is no one depressed coming out of the gym. Not going to happen unless you get a crazy phone call as you're walking out of the door or something. Or
if you injured yourself in the gym. Like, there's not a time you leave the gym and you're like, fuck, I went to the gym.
But exactly. It's like it is your therapist. But those are my 2. Appearance will go in a hole, but haircut and style. And then most definitely going to the gym. No matter what, whether or not you do it one day or the rest of your life, you're going to feel good.
For a piece of advice for anyone listening, and just, good piece of advice in general, like, getting a haircut is not just the act of looking good and having a haircut. It is showing people that you are willing to book an appointment, show up to the appointment, have your hair done, have it done to a place that sets you, and then being able to do that on a regular basis. It's a similar conversation to like why people like college degrees. It's seeing that you can do something and that you can get it done in a timely and respectable manner. So not doing anything to your hair or walking around with shaggy hair makes it look like you don't put respect on yourself. And when you're selling something or you are talking about anything, you need to be respectable. And if people don't respect how you look, they're not going to respect you.
Yeah. I totally agree with that. Like I said, it's not going to be my top 2, but like being in a sales position with what I do for work, I totally agree.
Yeah.
Because I like when I work in the office, I like to tend to dress better than everyone else. Because I'm not going to lie, I'm not trying to call anyone out, but there are a lot of people who I work with that could dress better. And I don't.
Dude, my boss would be fuming over this.
And it comes down to...
Because he believes in it or because he hates it?
Well, because we have a lot of employees who don't dress well, and I mean, it's a statistic.
Yeah.
You dress better, you're gonna sell more.
Yes, because I got a promotion at work, and I start that on Monday. Best believe
Congrats.
you are not gonna catch me in khaki shorts, blazers, and
a hoodie.
Yeah.
And there
Some New Balances.
There are people that dress like that, which I don't agree with. Because I feel like if you put yourself together a little bit, people are going to respect you more. You are going to look more approachable because you look like you know what you're doing. Yeah. If you look like a bum, people are going to be like, I don't know how I feel about that. Like, he might not really know what he's doing. Even though he very well could know what he's doing, but he gives off the appearance like he doesn't. And you are, like I said, you're not going to catch me in that. I'm going to be wearing slacks, nice jeans, nice pair of shoes, and a collared shirt.
And you could know nothing, and the guy who knows a bunch could be dressed in some raggedy clothes, and you'll sell more.
But yeah, you're gonna go.
Yeah.
You're gonna go to the person that looks
a dog.
professional.
You set a customer in the middle of the lobby, they're gonna walk to the person with nicer clothes and a haircut.
Yeah.
Yeah, no,
Like-
totally agree.
Simply.
Like I'm getting my haircut tomorrow because I know my hair's a little scruffy right now, but
It
that's
is,
just
though.
because
When I say bad haircut, I mean bad haircut. Like bad haircut. Like I can smell that shit from 50 feet.
yeah,
Bad haircut.
Yeah, I get what you're saying, but like I'm not gonna lie, my hair's kind of a little out of control right now, just because I haven't needed to get a haircut because being in the military, you have to have your haircut to a certain standard. But I've been off because I just got home from deployment a couple months ago, so I just let that shit grow out.
Nice.
But I got to go back this weekend, so
Yeah.
I got to get my haircut and put it into standard.
But I think genuinely a haircut and going to the gym, if you walk into a room, you hit a workout, get a haircut, you're walking out of that room feeling like a more confident, better version of yourself.
Yes,
Yeah.
because if
Facts.
you look
If you-
good, you feel good.
Yeah, if your off day, if what you do on your off day is go to the gym and then get a haircut, I guarantee you
gosh.
by the
You're gonna
end
feel
of
so
that, you're gonna feel
accomplished.
so good.
You're gonna
Like,
feel
That's
so
an
accomplished.
ideal off day.
Yeah.
Haircut and gym workout session. Like
I mean, there's a couple other things you can add to that to feel more accomplished
Yes.
for sure. But like,
Yes.
if you knock those two things out, look in the mirror,
Yes,
you're gonna be
some
like,
football.
Ideal day. Let me break it down.
okay, what's your ideal
Anthony's
day?
ideal day.
Wake up, take a hot shower.
Wake up what time?
Off day, sleep
Rapid fire.
in.
Rapid fire.
9 a.m.
9 a.m.
9
How
a.m.
hot's the shower?
Steaming.
Okay,
Steaming.
what's next?
There's steam on the
Steaming?
mirror. Yeah.
Okay.
It's steaming.
Steven?
Not
Because-
scorching.
You drawing a smiley face in the mirror back at
Yeah.
you?
I'm drawing a penis, but
Okay,
same thing.
same thing.
But I'm putting on my smell good stuff. I'm putting in my hair product, and I'm going to get a haircut.
Okay.
I'm getting a razor shave.
Where are you going?
You're
Straight.
putting in products
You- you
before
got
you
a
get
guy?
a
I'm
haircut?
not going out looking like a bum. I'm still gonna make sure it looks halfway decent.
That's fair. I always do my hairstylist the decency of not putting product in my hair.
They always just water it down anyway and just brush that shit
Okay,
out.
that's fair.
haircut.
Alright,
It's
sorry.
10 a.m. What's
Okay,
next?
I'm totally restarting.
No.
Just,
Haircut, 10
let
a.m.
me finish everything.
Okay.
Before you ask questions, I'll have a Q&A after the fact.
Okay.
Okay. This is my day. Wake up early, hot shower, haircut, go to the gym. Then afterwards, go grocery shopping. Don't get no junk food, no lickies and chewies. Get nourishments. You can have a little bit of junk food, a little bit of a cheat meal, but you want shit that's gonna set you up. Then I'm gonna relax and do something that nourishes my mind. Whether it be read a book or watch something on TV that's informational. Not fucking Family Guy or South Park, whether that shit's funny or not. I want something that I can learn something from. And then go to bed early, man.
How many hours of sleep you getting?
Optimal is 9 to 10. That's what I think.
Jeez.
I think 9
You
to
sleep
10 hours.
so much.
I think 9 to 10 hours is optimal. Oh, okay. I didn't say I do that on a daily basis, but I'm saying that if it was my prime day and I had a choice in the matter, 9 to 10 hours.
Good job. That was Anthony's prime day.
That's Anthony's
That is my
ideal
prime day. Because
Yeah.
I think if you do stuff like errands are such a chore, but after the fact you feel so accomplished.
Dude, it's like the time blocking your day is actually so incredible. Like if you have an off day and you're like, all right, what am I gonna do today? I'm gonna hit the gym. I'm gonna go to the grocery store. I'm gonna come home and I'm gonna meal prep, and then after that I'm gonna read, and then after that, and like you just keep going on, and like you accomplish all those things, you feel so good. If
You're so motivated
right?
to do more.
And then if you
Dude.
start the day and you're like, I don't know what I'm gonna do, and you accomplish like one or two things, you're like, fuck, I wasted the whole day.
Yes!
But it's like, yeah, it's crazy.
That's wild. Well, all right. I think we're going to wrap it up there. Yeah. Y'all have any closing remarks?
Stay frosty.
Stay
Stay motivated.
freaking
Stay
frosty.
disciplined. Whatever goals you have in life, remember why you had those goals in the first place, and keep going until you don't fucking stop until you have your goal.
Be a prodigy.
Be a prodigy.
Hey, shout out Prodigy.
My one thing after shouting out Prodigy, so my second thing is don't be afraid to take a step back and just look at what you've accomplished. Like, it takes some time to get where you're trying to go, and there's going to be a moment where you are where you were trying to go, and you're not even going to realize it yet. So just take a step back and look at what you've accomplished.
Yeah.
Carter,
I like
you?
that. I'll just piggyback off what Jonathan said. You know, think about you 5 years ago. You were asking to be right where you are right now.
Yeah, that's so true.
Love it.
5 years ago, me will be very proud of the man that I've become today.
Yeah. Well,
Short
we'll leave that
podcast
with y'all.
there.
I'm gonna do it.
Do it.
I'm gonna do it.
Do it.